day 154. I'm slowly making my coffee over here while I walk to the privy. Here's Camp Crawler right here. I stayed nice and dry all night. I had ventilation going through it. I left my flaps open. Wind went right through. It was nice. Go blow up the privy while my coffee's being made. But it's raining, but it's not raining hard. It's a little chilly, which is different and nice. Look at the size of this privy. Spacious. We get a little party in here. Nice. This will definitely work. Way better than pooing in the rain, let me tell you. So it came down all night. Pretty heavy at times. We also heard loud thumpings, and 3 of us heard it. Like, I thought bear. It was like a loud footstep, but only a couple of them, and it'd stop. And then a couple more, and then it'd stop. But it wasn't like consistent walking. But I did turn on my headlamp and peek out under everything and make some coughing noises and whatnot. But I don't know. But since all of us heard it, it was there. Somewhere out in here. We're going to stay here for a while according to, I have 2 bars of LTE, which is enough to check the weather. It says that it'll be done raining in about an hour, so I'm like, why go out in this? The 2 people that stayed here with us last night, they're section hiking separately, but they both took off in this, and we're like, yeah, we don't want to go. So I'm going to make another cup of coffee. 12's going to table dance for us. Look at her going there. Yeah. And we're just going to wait this bad boy out and then find a easy, convenient way out of here. We'll walk the trail as much as we can and find some nice dirt roads and shit along the way. Like any other day. We have 24 hours. After it stops raining, we have about 24 hours where it doesn't rain, and then it's supposed to rain pretty heavy for the next couple days. And then after that, it seems really nice. So I'll just ride it out. It is what it is. It's not horrible. At least it's not windy. It's just rain coming straight down. That's not bad. If there's wind, this would just suck. I'm really glad we came here. This isn't a bad place to be at all. Also glad we didn't take off. I got me a second coffee brewer right now, man. Rather be under here than out in that. And it's actually kind of cold. I've got jackets on and, 2 layers. I did pull my gloves out to wear them, but I didn't want to get them wet while I was taking my stuff down. But I wore them for a little bit. I was like, oh, yeah, because I've been carrying them the whole time. I don't go anywhere without a good 3 or 4 sets of gloves. Well, this stuff's supposed to stop in an hour or so. And we're not in a real big hurry to get anywhere. It's nice not having the obligation of finishing like I did last time. This trail feels different this time because of that. I mean, there's other reasons, but that would be a huge force, is that I don't feel this stress to complete. If I don't complete this, big whoop. I mean, I want to, and I intend to, but, if I don't, no big deal. So I don't feel this need to rush on. Like, no, I gotta go make some miles, man. I'm like, no, I'm gonna hide for a while. Nope. It does make me how chilly it is right now. It's, it's kind of nice because it's been so hot lately, but it makes me fear the cold to come. I know temperatures are going to start dropping. Every day is getting shorter. Not a bad place to have a cup of joe. It's down to a nice sprinkle. Mostly what you hear is tree pee. But it is about time to head out. All packed up and ready to go. I would just start a 3rd cup of coffee, but I don't have much fuel or coffee left, so unfortunately, that means it's time to go. I'm glad we waited this out. Because, we could have got, 3, maybe 4 miles in and been cold and wet and stuff, and that's no fun. I don't care about getting those 3 or 4 miles. I'll get them later when I'm supposed to. I'm taking fair weather hiking to the extreme if I can. Started raining a little heavier, so I'm hoping that's the end of the front. But I was like, in the meantime, I might as well do a second poo while I'm here. It's a really nice place to do it in. It's really good privy. I like it. Even a place to hang my jacket. What? A little broom? Not that I would ever touch it, but there's a little broom. Hand sanitizer. Oh, I've slept in worse places than this. And we're off. Hope I already mentioned what day it is, because I don't know right now. But I generally do that first thing. So my little mountain thing totally worked. It even seemed to keep the slugs off of my stuff, because my stuff wasn't covered in slugs, but my shoes that were sitting off the side, actually my slippers, had one in it when I put them on this morning. And so it was really hard to wash them off the bottom of my foot. That stuff stays, it lingers. All right, this is the Blue Blaze leading back to the trail. And it should just be tree pee for the rest of the day. It is pretty cold, so like I'm wearing my gloves and my plastic and stuff. I'm pretty chilly. My fingers hurt, but I know it's not gonna last long. So I'm gonna do my best to like enjoy it. Oh, is this the tree we heard come down last night? Oh, we straight heard this, but I didn't expect it to be so close and so big. It didn't make a whole lot of noise. Oh, because it's just a thin piece in the middle. Okay. Well, that was way close. They're like, is that a tree? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's just a branch, because there wasn't that snapping noise of the trunk. There was mostly just the thud of it and the crunch of the other trees around it. So I imagined it was a branch like this angled one right here. Something that size falling down. Glad we waited that out. Just wish I would have had more fuel and coffee to enjoy it. But glad that pavilion was there. That was perfect. Way better than that shelter. Good place to hide. It is a little trickier without tread on my shoes. Falling down is dangerous when you have a bunch of weight strapped to your back. Especially when all the rocks are on their edges. I'm going to need both hands for this. Coming down the last hill was really sketchy, and it wasn't so much the rocks, it was all the roots. They were super slick. But I was able to pick my way down tiptoe, be careful. I'm not in a hurry. Except when I am. But it is high time I replace these shoes. I don't remember this, but we got to cross this. And, there's been a decent amount of rain, so we can't rock hop per se. And somewhere, but I'm just going to take off my shoes and go for it. Oh, barefoot water crossings. It gets pretty deep here, right here where it's moving fast. But I found a path right next to the edge of the waterfall that was barely knee deep for me. So far so good. We're halfway through. Well, that was fun and kind of different. I enjoyed that. It was probably the most intense water crossing on the AT. I know there's the one where you got to go with the guy on the canoe, but that's a guy on a canoe. That's not really intense by any means. Most intense thing is waiting your turn in the sun. But good times, good times. So we have the option of going over that hill or following this dirt road around, or guess which one we're taking. Blue blazes. So evidently this was the blue blaze back in the day, but now the official blue blaze on the map is up on top of it. You climb up it, and then you come down. But I'm old school. I go with the original stuff. That's how I roll. Or something like that. So we came to the gas station. Got a little breakfast sandwich kind of thingy. And Fire showed up. His uncle just dropped him off here. His uncle's from Arizona. Happened to be out here to see Fire or whatnot. I don't know. But we noticed while we were here that there's some train tracks on the other side. And we're going to follow the train tracks for a little while because that sounds like fun. Did not expect there to be blazes. It's kind of weird. I'm just curious if there's blazes for both Nobos and Selbos. Wonder what they're blazing. So it's hard to tell on our map where this road ends, but it might just disappear and then there's nothing but train tracks for a couple miles maybe, and then the road seems to reappear on the map. But I don't know, maybe it ends, maybe it doesn't. We'll find out really soon. Well, there is not a road next to the track. Well, technically there is, but it says private property. This one didn't, even though I know it is. But there's no sign telling me, therefore I can claim ignorance. Like, oh, what? I'm not supposed to be here. Hopefully no trains come while we're on it. Looks like the road ends at this house anyway. But the road picks back up soon enough. We're hearing something that sounds trainy come from behind. Yeah, the chug-a-lug of a big old engine. Yeah, it sounds like it's on the other side. Maybe it's just a big truck. So we heard a train whistle. Now we can hear the low rumbling. It's hard to tell how far back it is, but play it safe, we're off track. Oh, here she comes, even slower than I thought. Like, I was expecting 30 miles an hour or so, but I was telling 12. I'm like, no, you get plenty of time to get out of the way. But yeah, we could have just kept walking and outpaced this thing. How many cars you got, buddy? If you're struggling with just a few. Well, it does only have one engine, so it's probably not a very big train. Weird looking engine too, way smaller than I'm used to. Very narrow looking. They were friendly. There's 3 dudes inside there just hanging out drinking coffees. They waved at us. We now resume our regularly scheduled walking. We meet up with a road here in just a little bit, and then we're going to jump off on that, and it follows the river proper. And eventually snakes and winds up the river and leads right back to the trail. convenient is that? Almost like it's meant to be. Except for this train track part. But I kind of like train tracks. I wouldn't mind having more experiences with them. Find some that lead to an old deserted ghost town. Because we laid track all over the place. Not all of it is used anymore. Sweet. 12 noticed a bike path off the side of the trail. We weren't sure what it is. It just shows up as a black line on our map. But perfect. We are off the tracks. Definitely more than a bicycle path with a bridge this wide and rather new. Those are pretty new planks. See, that's definitely meant for vehicles. But you can tell by the debris on the road, not many come through. So we popped out of the bike trail just back there. And look at these gorgeous rock walls. It goes all the way around this thing. And it's such a nice job. So much effort. Well, it fell down right over here. Okay, somebody needs to get on that other side. Look at that. It's all level-ish on top. That spot needs some help right there. You guys need to get on that. Look how tall it is on the other side. That's probably like 6 foot. The pink house. Most decidedly not pink. Now, I didn't expect to see this because the trail's actually on the other side of the river, but there's a fucking blaze right there. And semi-freshly painted because, you know, see the beetle markings and they're painted over those. I did not expect to see it. We are nowhere near it. Well, there's a little vegetable stand on the side of the road, so I'll grab some cucumbers. Wish I had some salt to go on them, but they're still great nonetheless. Hard to tell, but we're on the trail again. Trail, not trail. They look really similar, except for the white blazes and stuff. Although I see a blue blaze on the next pole, a double blue blaze, tell me to take a sharp right. I ran into those two guys up there. At the last gas station, they decided to follow in our footprints and follow us down. They said they would, but we weren't sure because we were like, we're going to take some train tracks. So they stuck to the main road and then jumped on the road we were on instead of like via the train tracks like we did. All leads to the same place. Now we could keep walking the road. It leads to Fallsville or something like that. But we don't really want to go to Fallsville. There is a diner there, but it closes at 3 and it's like 3:30. So back into the woods we go. It's really nice in here. Feels like I've been away for a while. A mid-safety meeting. Almost missed this turn in. It's nice in here. I just downloaded a radar app on my phone. I've never had one of those. So I can make assessments myself. Instead of just relying on the weather near me and telling me what it thinks it's going to be. Because, I mean, it's decently accurate, but I'm always on the move, so it's not really accurate for me. Although there's all sorts of overlays on it, wind and temperature and clouds and earthquakes and fires. I turned on a bunch of them and it turned into this kaleidoscope swirly thing of colors, which I think is the winds, but it was mesmerizing. AT has been beautiful. Why have I been disregarding you? You have benches right now. A nice little waterly view. I can hear it. Pagan symbols. What is this? Oh, I think it was the number 5. As you can see, forever. Comparatively on this trail, you can rarely see more than 100 yards, but I can see like 100 yards. There's another freaking bench. They're everywhere. That's really nice because I do enjoy sitting down with no back on them, so you don't even have to take off your backpack if you don't want to. Very interesting. You don't ever see this on trails. 12 pointed out to me. I looked at it, but I didn't even think about it. There's a handicap symbol here. Here's a handy, accessible trail. I guess depending on what you own. But you never actually see that out in the woods. So good on them for trying. Hard to tell, but this is still the AT. Look at that rock wall, the effort that went into that thing. Most impressive. It says 1851 up in there. But look, there's a blaze. I'm not lying. I'm on trail. I wouldn't lie. That tree didn't even exist when this shit was built. I'm going over a dam. How exciting, isn't it? I haven't been over a dam in a couple of months. Hey, there's a hiker in there. Did she get lost? There's coming out of the woodworks. She was ahead of us, past us earlier. So right over there, there's a building, and the girl just past us told us there was an outdoor shower there, but it's right on the road, so you're very exposed. But you couldn't get into the building. And I don't need a shower, but if I could get into the building, that's where I'd have stayed tonight. I really need to bring a lockpick with me on these adventures. Get into that whole thing, get good at it, be able to pick locks all over the place. LNT, man, I lock those bad boys up on the way out. Don't touch a thing while I'm there. Nobody never knows. Except that Ring doorbell camera gives me away. This bad boy was brand new when I came through here last time. Built in 2016. Not an impressive bridge by any means, but I don't want to be walking through this stuff. Oh yeah, that's raging a little harder than I bet it usually does. It looks a little brown and churny. I don't know what a hamlet of Salisbury is, but I'll take 2, please. They sound delicious. Isn't that nice? Trail goes off in here. So we have the choice. We can either go down there or we can follow this up, and then it turns around and comes back to this stream and follows the stream all the way up. It turns into trail after a little while. This road only lasts so long. But if we did not do this, we have to go around this way and we climb up a hill and then follow the hill along to come back downhill to the shelter. And we can come up the back way to the shelter because there's a dotted line leading to it, which means trail. So why climb up and then climb back down when I just come in the back way? No vehicles beyond this point. We ran into one local doing some yard work, and he tried to question us on where we were headed, but his questions didn't make sense. So I just kind of nodded, smiled, and kept walking. But it's a really nice neighborhood. I bet they don't have many people walking through. Although the AT is right here, I see a blaze right there, but it's probably just cutting across. Or is that a really light blue blaze? Really hard to tell. Because no, the AT's up on the hill way up there. Yeah, so I don't know what that light blue blaze is. I thought it was white. So many really nice walls around here. Got it blazed for us and everything. Footpath, no bikes. It's been an excellent little walk. Hey, campsites. I see a human, possibly pooping. Now there's that WM. Oh, and there's the, I guess that's the, is that the shelter or the privy? Try to tell if it's a shelter, it's a tiny one. If it's a privy, it's a large one. Oh no, there's the shelter up on the hill. And people at that as well. So I better come down here and claim a site. Oh, I forgot to show you my setup tonight, but slung between two trees. The campsite seems rather dreary. I don't know if that's just because it's wet. Everything's wet. But tomorrow and the next day, and I think the next day, are going to be really wet. So we'll see if I can find places to hide or just deal with it. I don't know. I'm all up for hiding, but we'll see how it goes. Tomorrow, one of 12's friends, or her friend's daughter, is coming along with us for 5 days. So we've been planning on her meeting up, and well, they've been doing the planning. I've just been told about it. I'm not just been told about it, but I've heard about it on and on. I knew it was going to happen, so we'll see how that goes. She's young, so she should be able to keep up. It's not like we're doing huge miles anyway. We've totally slowed down. But it got to kind of suck when you're coming out for 5 days and the first 2 are guaranteed just solid rain, and it's supposed to start raining right about when she shows up. So off to a crappy start, but the 3 days after that, it's supposed to be beautiful for like a week. The 70-degree weather and stuff like that. So I'll take a couple of days of punishment, and it's not even punishment. It's rain coming straight down, and it'll probably be 60 degrees. We've been through worse. All right, so we're gonna sleep in a little bit tomorrow because the town we're going to is only a few miles up the road, and the grocery store doesn't open till 7. So we're not gonna leave camp till 5. So I'll see you then. Good night.